My name's Gregory Hodges, and I've been meditating every day for a year now with Dr. Joe Dispenza's Meditations. And I'm going to share with you the 3 things that I've taken away from meditating every day. There's a lot of things that have happened, a lot of crazy, wild experiences, but there's really 3 things that I really think are going to benefit me long term. But before we do that, I want to kind of paint a picture of how things were before I found meditation, and then once I connected with it, and where I am now, so you can kind of get a full picture of how the journey's been for me. When I first got into meditation, I was kind of looking for something to deal with. My brother was passing away slowly with cancer, and it was a tough thing to deal with. So I was trying to find different things to help me cope with it. I'd been doing breath work. I'd been doing ice baths, if you've ever heard of those things. Then I ran across Dr. Joe Dispenza's videos on YouTube, and I'd heard of meditation before, but I'd never really done it. I've heard of people doing it, but I'd never done it. So I watched some videos, understood what he said. I like the science that he brought to the table with meditating, and I connected with that. So I said, well, let me give this a shot. I was kind of desperate. I was in a desperate spot of trying to find solutions how I can deal with my brother passing. And so I bought some meditations off of his website, and I bought an eye mask to wear during the meditations, and I went to work. And I'm not going to lie, it felt like work in the beginning. It was frustrating. He has these hour-long meditations. I couldn't get through 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I mean, I was trying to figure out how I was going to keep a job by meditating every day. How am I supposed to make a living if I'm going to spend all day meditating? Like, I was not getting it. It was frustrating. I didn't like it. But I knew that there was something there because I've heard of it my whole life. And so I didn't really want to just give up on it and just leave. I was, again, like I said, I was kind of desperate I was looking for something. It was a tough time for me. So I wasn't just putting it down. So I kept with it. And finally, he had a retreat down in Marco Island. I signed up for that retreat. I got in and I went to the event. Now, once I went to that event, my whole life changed, and I connected with the meditation. My body started shaking. I started convulsing. I totally had a wild, crazy experience. Even when I was at the retreat down there, I had a conversation with my brother that had passed away, as hard as that could be to believe. But anyway, I made a video about that experience at the retreat that I'll put in the description below if you want to check it out. It's about a 30-minute video, but it's I go in detail about my whole experience just at this retreat. So if you want to check that out, you can. And while you're at it, if you could, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep following on my meditation journey here. So after the retreat, I knew my whole life had changed. Everything had changed. The trajectory of my life had changed. And I've started meditating. It didn't feel like work anymore. It's kind of like the people that go out and work out every day. I just meditated every day, and there's no big deal. I look forward to it every day. I don't want to miss it. It's exciting. So I meditate anywhere from an hour to 3 hours a day. It's crazy to think my old self would be telling myself now, like, if I could see myself in the future, I would have said, man, you lost your mind, man. What are you doing? You've absolutely gone crazy. There's no way that I ever would have imagined that a year into this, that I would be meditating for an hour to 3 hours a day. Again, this whole year has been wild and crazy. It's a lot's changed. I've had a lot of wild and crazy experiences. I've manifested a lot of things. And again, I'll put some videos in the description below if you want to check some of those out. There's videos about some of my experiences this past year. But really, we're here. There's 3 things that I have come up with after meditating for a whole year of Dr. Joe Dispenza's Meditations that have really changed me and benefited me, I can tell, for the long run. So One of the things that I can share with you that I've learned from meditating every day for the past year is I'm more certain about the path that I'm on in life than I was before. Before meditating, I was kind of lost. I didn't know what I was doing. I think at the time I probably thought I did if you had asked me, but I didn't looking back. It's I was just kind of running around doing busy work back then. Thought I was doing something, just kind of running around in circles. But now I don't know where I'm going to be 10 years from now, but I know that wherever I land is going to be okay. I just know. I'm more certain about it. I'm more certain about my decisions and that I'm making in my life. So I feel like I have the high beams turned on in my life. I can now see like 200 yards in front of me. Before, I could just see like a foot or two in front of me and it was foggy. But now I can see things coming from far away that I couldn't see before. And I can make better decisions for myself and for others. And I know that's going to help me in the long run. I know it probably doesn't seem that profound or that wild of a thing to talk about. But for me, it was a big deal. And I'm happier now. I am in a better place. I'm more certain about where I'm going, and that feels good. So I'm grateful for discovering that through meditation. So another thing that I can share with you that I've taken from meditating every day is everything that was negative about me. It's just like the volume got turned down on it. And everything that was good and positive about me, the volume's just turned up. And before I started meditating, I remember kind of sitting there and going, I don't want this meditation to really change me. I mean, there's some things that I like about myself. And what if it turns me into a person that I don't like? But looking back now, that was the person that I didn't like, the person that I was. And so meditation comes in and gives you what you need. You don't have a whole lot of control over it. And I promise you, if you just spend some time meditating, it's just going to amplify all the good things, and you're going to get to a place to where you can really feel like you can grow as a person, and you just feel better. It's like I kind of got back to being myself again, like seeing a friend you haven't seen in a long time in the grocery store. You get excited. I've got more energy now because I'm coming from a place. All that good and positive things have been amplified. All that negative stuff is real quiet. There's still some there every once in a while, but it's just a low volume. I don't spend much time with it. So that's something that's major for me that I know I'm going to benefit for a long time from this. And I'm just a year into it. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the future. One of the last things I could share with you that I feel like I've benefited from meditating every day is I feel like I've spent my whole life inside of like this jar, like a jelly jar or something. Now, I know this sounds crazy. Just stay with me for a minute here. But when you start meditating and you start connecting with that deep meditation, then you're able to take the top off and you could come out of the jar and you can actually read the label and the ingredients on the jar. And for the first time in my life, I've been able to see myself in a different light that I've never seen before. I'm so much more aware of myself and what I'm doing, and I can look back on who I was before, and I realized I was a jerk to that person. I did that person wrong, and I didn't know it then. But the decisions that I make now, I'm aware. I'm aware of what's going on. So it's been a powerful thing, all three of those things and so many other things. If anybody out there is interested in meditation and on the fence if they should do it, I'm telling you, you just gotta jump in. You just have to do it. There's so many people that are doing it. I mean, not everyone out there is absolutely crazy. I mean, there's a lot of reasonable people that meditate. And the reason why we all do it and spend time doing it is because there's a lot of benefits. It's not just one reason. It's not just two. There's so many different reasons why you can meditate. And if you can really spend time focusing on meditating and connecting with it, you'll start to see benefits really fast in your whole entire life. Now, if somebody were to come to me and say that how they should get started meditating, I would totally tell them that they should go start following Dr. Joe and watch his videos and get his books and go to some of his events. But I also want to say that you don't have to use Dr. Joe. He's a great kind of preacher of meditation. He kind of puts it in a way that makes sense for people, and he gives a lot of information and the science behind it to be able to make it okay for people to let go. And so I highly recommend using him and using his knowledge and resources. He's got a great team. He's got great events and great books. But you don't have to use that. You could just figure it out on your own. There's other people out there. So, do what you want to. But I would recommend Dr. Joe, but don't get hung up on that either. Thank you for spending time watching this video. If you could like it and subscribe, that would help me out. And hopefully I'll see you further down the road. Again, Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at YouTube Livestream right here.